Hey, everybody. All right, we are here for the 9th installment in the year of well-being. Woo. All right, so we are going to be talking about personal development as a form of well-being. So if you are watching the recording and you are just stumbling onto this, so my name is Allie Phillips, and the information, I am going to talk about some essential oils and some crystals. So what I am going to talk about isn't even going to come close to diagnosing, treating, curing, or preventing any disease, but I always put that disclaimer just in case. And for those of you who do not know me, I have been an attorney for 28 years. And my specialty is criminal prosecution. I have spent my entire time in that field, either as a prosecutor or teaching prosecutors. And my specialty is animal protection as it relates to families and family violence. So I do a lot of speaking, a lot of teaching, and I have created a nonprofit out of that work. And I also have my healing business called Manifested Harmony, which is 11 and a half years old. I started that in early 2011, and I have 7 different certifications. I've written a couple of books, including the Oily Pet and the Oily Crystal. And so I blend all of this together for these presentations. And so, like I said, we are in the 9th episode of the Year of Well-Being. And next month, we are going to talk about how to bring out your inner goddess as part of well-being. In November, we will talk about having a service mindset, and then in December, your soul path. So this has been a great series. I've been loving it. I hope you all have been loving it. All right, so let's dive into personal development. And I got to tell you, this is something that I absolutely say every day. And if I don't say this, then I did not have a good day. So I'm always, and I literally say it out loud, I learned something new every day, or I just learned something new. I always say that. And I've literally said that for decades, because when you engage in personal development, you learn something new every day, and that actually is a level of well-being at the soul level that no mani-pedi and no Netflix binging is ever going to replace. And so I really want you to think about this. When was the last time you picked up a book without any distractions so that you could engage in self-improvement, like something to just make you a better version of who you already are? I mean, when was the last time? I mean, unless you absolutely detest reading, reading is amazing for personal development, especially when you can get away from technology and just immerse yourself in a book. I also want to ask you, when was the last time you took a class or went to a conference so that you could learn something to feel better, to be better, to improve yourself, to improve your business? If you're watching this, then you have, and that's awesome. That's what this series is all about. You know, there's lots of opportunities to learn, especially with the explosion of online learning. And, you know, when you are constantly learning, you can look back 5 years ago and you were a different person. Who you are today, you should look back and say, wow, I'm a different person. Like the core of who I am is still there, but how I do things, you know, what I do, who I'm around, how I think, the activities, even the hobbies and the interests that I have, wow, I've really grown. And this is why I love teaching energy healing classes, teaching about crystals, teaching about essential oils, because I start seeing people opening something in them that was always there, but it was locked up. So that's why I love doing this. So I have another question. When was the last time you set a goal that involved improving something and you actually achieved it? I want you to think about that, because that is going to be a direct relation to how often you engage in personal development. Okay, so let's dive a little deeper. So to me, personal development is not only well-being, but it's leveling up. It's absolutely leveling up. Hold on, I have a dog outside that was barking, not my dog. It was just barking and distracting me. So personal development is well-being, but it is how we level up in the world. So personal development, when you define, what does this exactly mean? It's looking inward to better yourself. Okay, it's not looking for things outside of you. It's looking inward. So it's self-improvement, especially when you know that something needs to change. So you know that your health is suffering because you're not eating well. You have to engage in personal development to get yourself on the track so that you eat better and feel better. If you know that you need to change a relationship, self-improvement will help you find the change, see the change, so that you actually surround yourself with people that are good for you. I don't know if you all can see this. That's Stella. Oh my gosh. Lori, I wasn't kidding when I said she's literally given me googly eyes this whole time. It's so distracting. I can't even look. But it's looking inward to better yourself. Personal development is also about increasing your self-awareness and your self-esteem, because it's empowering. Because when you learn something and implement it, that's the thing. You can't just learn and not do. When you learn something and implement it, you become more aware because you've been looking inward, and it raises your self-esteem. So you feel more empowered. You know, I can look around, and when I see people who are empowered, they're engaging in self-development. When I look around and I see people who are disempowered and falling into like a victim energy, they're not engaging in personal development. And so that's why this is a big topic. It's a big topic for your well-being. So personal development actually helps you reach your potential because you're improving skills, you know, you're learning about goals and just how to live the life that you want to reach your potential. And you can do this in, you know, 5 different areas of life. And it could actually be more than this. But when it comes to personal development, you can break it down into 5 categories: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and social. So for physical, you know, just one example is that, you know, our bodies change as we get older. So maybe you engage in personal developments to learn about health and wellness for your age. So you're being proactive and learning what to do next. That's personal development. For emotional, maybe you work on healing some old emotional wounds once and for all because you're sick and tired of living in unforgiveness. For mental, it's learning, it's going to workshops, it's reading books, it's doing things that mentally exercise your brain, even rest, because you can't have your brain on the go all the time. Even rest is good for mental personal development. Spiritual personal development is about learning new concepts and really understanding yourself deeper. So learning about essential oils, learning about crystals, learning about energy healing, and then incorporating those into your life, and it just opens up parts of you that you never knew were there. And then the social aspect is, you know, having social connections, not being isolated at home, meeting new people, always meeting new people. That's the one thing that I love about having my own businesses. I have to meet new people. It's kind of part of the job description. But it does major personal development in that social aspect for me, because it would be real easy these days to literally sit at home and just not engage with people. So physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and social, those are the 5 areas of personal development. And it's a lifelong process because, I find that when people age, they stay sharp and they stay vital. They have good vitality if they have been engaging in personal development. When you invest in personal development, you don't feel stuck. You never feel like you're settling in life. You always have something that you're working towards, something that you want to know more about. You always have a goal. You're empowered. And I see this in people who age. Personal development is a big part of them living with vitality in their later years. So, what are the benefits of doing this? Like, why would you want to do this? A lot of people are very busy. They have very busy schedules. Well, personal development is typically what people do when they're stuck or they know there's more to life. They want to be better. They want to do better. They want to contribute to society. They want to grow a business. They want to level up. They don't want to stay exactly where they're at. They realize that human beings are intended to grow. When you embrace change, you're growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. So people who engage in personal development see that benefit from it. So the benefits are self-awareness, like I've already mentioned. You learn new things about yourself. It feels good. You've got better self-esteem, and you don't settle because you always know that there's more to learn. And that's why that's why I started out this class talking about what I say every day. I just learned something new today. Every day, I make sure I do not end the day without saying that. I learned something new today, and I literally say it out loud. So it's self-awareness. Direction, self-development helps you find your purpose. You are more likely to reach a goal when you engage in personal development. And so personal development affects all areas of your life. So whatever direction you're going, it's going to affect it. It helps with focus and effectiveness because you become a better problem solver because you think better. You learn new ways of thinking. It helps with motivation. Motivation has to come internally. It cannot come from somebody else. And I've really thought about this a lot over the last several years, and you can't put your motivation and your ability to get things done, you can't put that on anybody else. That's a burden that nobody should have. You have your own motivation. And so personal development helps you with that internal fire, that little pilot light in you, to keep it really firing and strong so that you don't make excuses. If you want to do something, you do it without excuse. And you inspire others and you do things that you've never done before, like start a business or change jobs or change relationships or move or write a book, or, you just do it. So personal development helps with that motivation, and it helps with resilience because you can adapt to change and begin to seek change because you've engaged in personal development. You become a goal-oriented person, and goal-oriented people never want to be stagnant. They're always improving. There's always something that they want to do better. They want to feel better. I mean, I just think about my work with essential oils. Oh my word, I am almost 10 years into that journey. I learn something new every day. It's like, wow, I didn't know that German chamomile did that. It's like, wow, that's awesome. And I'm eager to learn. And when you're in personal development, you become very resilient with change because every time you learn something, it's going to change your outlook on the world. And you become very comfortable with change. You crave it. You actually crave it. Personal development also helps with having fulfilling relationships because you become happier, because your self-esteem is better and you feel empowered. You see people differently, and then people see you differently. you're actually more interesting. And then it helps with business growth. So if you want to start a business, if you are in a business, personal development absolutely goes along with it. There's no getting away with it, because your goals, your business, whatever you want, you will hit a ceiling and get stuck. And then when you do more personal development, the ceiling lifts and you rise up. So if you've ever felt really pushed down and stuck, it's personal development all the way. And, I've kind of been, without realizing it, have been a, chronic personal development person. I mean, literally my whole life. And sometimes I dive really, head and feet into it, and other times not so much. But it can start to feel overwhelming, because when you start to open to new ideas, you'll start to look at things differently, and it'll change the way that you do things. And that can cause some stress, some resistance, some anxiety, because you're changing. But the discomfort actually comes in the growth. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. So one of my business coaches tells us, do the uncomfortable things, then you grow. And then after a while, they're not uncomfortable anymore. You have to do the uncomfortable things in order to grow. So, how do you get started? You've probably heard the phrase, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When you're ready to level up, the teacher will appear. When you learn something new that energetically challenges your beliefs, your mindset, your way of doing things, it will open up doors to other things. So I always tell my students in my day-long energy classes that we are like an onion. And this happened to me. I took one energy healing class, it peeled back one layer of the onion. And one modality opened the door to another. That modality opened the door to another. That modality opened the door to another. The more you learn, the more you engage in this personal development, you're an onion. The layers are peeling back and you get to the true core of who you are. So every time you are learning something about your physical body, your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, or social, those 5 areas, it's going to open up the door to other things. That's why it's never done. It's never done. And when you're ready to grow as a leader of something, maybe you want to lead a business, lead a book club, lead whatever. You have to learn a new skill or a craft. Because you look at where you're at, you're going to stay there unless you learn something. Okay, so you have to learn something to go somewhere. And when you're ready to learn who you want to be, not what you want to do, but who you want to be, that's when the teacher will appear. And I do hear from a lot of people that say, oh, I'm too busy. I'm too busy to work on myself. When my kids graduate or when I retire. Well, first of all, you're not guaranteed tomorrow. But you also need to think that if you are not living your life and if you are not growing, no one's going to do it for you. So that's kind of a life not lived. That's not a life lived at all. So look at those 5 areas and, choose one area or choose one part of all 5 of those areas and focus on it. Turn off the television, turn off social media, give yourself space every day. I'm actually going to recommend a book at the end that will really help you with this. But it's creating a habit of personal development every day, and giving yourself the white space in your calendar to do it. So when people say to me, well, Allie, I already wake up at 5:30 in the morning and, I'm rushing out the door, or maybe my kids are, taking up my time and I'm rushing them out to school, and then I go to work, and then I got to go pick them up, or I have to go run errands, and then I come home and I eat dinner and I'm exhausted and I go to bed. when somebody tells me how their day runs, and if it runs like that, I have them repeat it to me again and again. And the more they actually say it out loud, the more they realize they're on autopilot. They're not even living their life. That's when you go get a self-improvement book, a personal development book, you take a class, you do something to jar yourself out of that energy. Because if you are waking up, going to work, going to bed, and doing it all over again, and just checking off a to-do list in between, that's not living. That's not living. This will really change your life. And when you better how you feel about yourself and how you're responding to life, everybody around you benefits. So for the busy moms, you're going to teach your kids to do this. All right, let's dive into the next chakra. We have been building our way up the chakra system all year. We are now at the causal chakra, and you may wonder, wow, what is that? I have never heard of that. I teach about this chakra in my advanced crystal class, so you're going to get a little tidbit about it. So the causal chakra, it's actually over here, kind of on an angle on the side of the head. And it's all about silent peace. That's what it is, silence. It's about silence. Now, there's all this great legend, history about the causal chakra, because we have the 7 primary chakras that are in and around the body that all humans have, whether you recognize it or not. But I've read a lot of books about the causal chakra, and there are some people who write about that at the end of the Atlantis era, that 5 of our 12 chakras actually closed so that we could handle the lower energies of Earth. And now these 5 chakras are opening for people as they engage in personal development and raise their spirituality. And so if you're able to calm your mind, then your causal chakra is ready to activate, and it probably already has activated. And this is why a lot of times I recommend meditation or quiet time, prayer, whatever it is where you can just quiet your mind, because this chakra is about quieting the mind, being present, being peaceful, being in serenity. And so it's perfect for personal development, because this is something that you could focus on. All right, I need to meditate so that I can activate my causal chakra. And, when you have this peace of mind of mental stillness, that's when pure creation starts to happen in your life. You get these great ideas. You find the next book to read, the next class to take, the next person that you're supposed to meet on your life path. And so when this chakra is activated, it actually aligns with, it's called the soul star chakra that I'm going to talk about in December. That's going to be our final chakra. And that is for true soul purpose living. So, it's located kind of on an angle. It's not in the back of your head. It's off on an angle about right here, like kind of behind your ears. So it's the chakra that when you activate it, because you can still your mind, you can quiet your mind, it's happened because you can receive messages and inspiration and ideas and information from literally higher spiritual realms. And you question your belief system that may have worked 20, 30, 40 years ago, but it doesn't work now. You're comfortable with that change. You're not so dug in to your beliefs that you can't change them. And it broadens your horizon, and it allows you to stay very calm and clear, regardless of trials and tribulations happening around you. So this is a chakra that can naturally start to activate when you engage in personal development. but meditation is the big thing. You have to be able to quiet your mind, not silence it, but just quiet the mind. So, all right, so let's dive into some of my favorite oily products that are going to help you on this personal development path. So first of all, mind-wise, I was just talking about this today because it is Alzheimer's Awareness Month, and this is a really great product for brain health. So if we don't have brain health, we don't have well-being. We don't have health, we don't have wellness, we don't have well-being. If you have a severe brain or nervous system disorder, you're not going to be focused on personal development. You're not going to be focused on anything. You're either going to try to get better or just stay as well as you can. So that's why I love this, because our brain, no matter what age we are, it needs good fats. We need the omega-3s. We need the MCT, the multi-chain triglycerides. We need all of these good fats. The whole low-fat diet movement really destroyed our brains. So this is a great drink. Literally, you take a teaspoon of it. It tastes amazing. It's packed with vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and omega-3s that support your brain and your immune system and your joints and your muscles. It's dairy-free, gluten-free, soy-free, it's vegan. And if you find yourself having brain fog or needing help concentrating and focusing, or you're feeling overwhelmed, you walk into a room and you forget why you walked in there. This is worth taking every day, every day. I watched my mom suffer and pass away from Alzheimer's, and it was horrible. I'd never wish that on anybody. I'm not saying that this is going to prevent it, but let's do everything to feed our brain. And this is what you need. And that's a big part of well-being, is having a healthy brain. Present time, I love this oil because we all have distractions, whether it's kids or pets or partners or coworkers or on your phone, ding, or even your thoughts. Those distractions take you off task, and those distractions don't allow you to work on yourself. When you can laser focus and become very efficient in your time, you will find the time to engage in personal development. Did you know that when we're interrupted, it takes an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to return to the original task? The brain actually has a protective measure that if you're doing something, let's say you're typing on your computer or you're reading a book and somebody says, "Hey, Allie," I look. The brain literally wiped what I was doing because it can only handle so much. So it wiped it so that I can say, "Hey, what's going on?" and have a conversation. And then when you come back, you're like, "Wait, where was I? What page was I on? What was my thought?" 23 minutes and 15 seconds on average it takes us to get back on task. Present time helps us stay focused so that we feel comfortable turning off all of our notifications. Nobody disturbs us. You put a sign on your door that says, "Please do not disturb." And you give yourself that time, because we lose a lot of productivity. And when people say to me, "Allie, I wish I had time for personal development or even a 10-minute meditation in the morning, but I don't." And that's when I know you're just distracted. If you eliminated all the distractions, you would probably gain back about 2 hours a day. Present time does that. All right. Yeah, there's only 3 oils in present time. I mean, it is amazing to really focus your brain. And, there's nothing beneficial about focusing on the past. There's nothing productive about worrying about the future. But when we're here and now, that's when we learn and grow. That's how powerful that oil is. The Awaken blend has 26 essential oils in it, and it really helps us become aware of our limitless potential. and create positive life changes because it helps us elevate our mind to the next level. So, you know, it is the ultimate personal development oil. When you need to level up, look at something differently, you want to learn something new. You know, I like to use it when I have an idea or a goal that hasn't materialized and I need it to wake up. It's great. It's a great oil. And last but not least, the Rise Above oil. Oh my gosh, this has become one of my absolute favorites in the last couple of years. And this is the oil when you are ready to level up in your personal development, to transform old beliefs that are holding you back, to rise above your current thoughts, because your thoughts create your whole world. If you don't like what you see, you have to change your thoughts. Change your thoughts, and everything around you will start changing, including your actions. A lot of people engage in non-action because of their thoughts. They literally talk themselves out of things. So this helps you to achieve soul purpose things that you're supposed to be doing. It's very motivating. It's very positive. It helps you see issues from a higher perspective because you can't solve a problem from the same energy that created it. You literally have to rise above to find your answer and your solution. It actually contains the blend valor in it. So it gives you the courage for self-improvement. So these are my favorites for self-development. And then when it comes to crystals, honestly, any crystal that you are drawn to is going to work because it really depends on what you want to improve. Do you want to improve your health or your thoughts or your actions, your diet, your finances, your job? It just depends. There's literally 5,000 crystals on the planet. But to get you started, especially if you want to engage in personal development, you just haven't launched yourself. You just haven't, you're still standing on the edge of the diving board. You haven't dove off yet. These are the crystals that will help you get started. So ametrine is a blend of amethyst and citrine. It's only found in one location in the world, in Bolivia. And it helps you visualize new ideas and to focus your mind on creativity. It's a transformation crystal and it helps you take control of life. Well, gosh, that sounds like personal development wrapped up in a pretty little crystal. Hemimorphite is a beautiful crystal, and it is for fast, rapid self-development, but it also helps you with realistic goal setting. It helps you realize that your thoughts and your beliefs create your world. It gives you inner strength. It helps you with your highest potential and high spiritual communication. I love hemimorphite. I am going to be on the lookout to get some of that in my private crystal store because I just love hemimorphite. So I got to get some of that for everybody. Labradorite is also a good crystal because it's called the stone of transformation. It gives you strength and perseverance during change because personal development is all about change. It's being willing to not keep your feet stuck in the mud. Okay, so labradorite is going to give you that perseverance and strength. It's going to empower you and then it helps you listen to your intuition. Rainbow moonstone. This is the stone of new beginnings. And when something needs to change, this is going to help you because if something needs to change, you have to change. So this helps with emotional stability during change. And then the last crystal is rutilated quartz. And this helps you let go of the past and move forward to get unstuck and change directions. It helps with fear and anxiety and stress so that you don't get in a rut and you can actually get unstuck. So all of these are my favorite personal development crystals. And then last but not least, I'm going to email you this workbook from Calm. But I would also recommend that you check out the Miracle Morning. I've talked about this book in so many of my classes, and it's still a go-to recommendation because Hal Elrod gives you 6 steps to start the day right. It's how you start the day, not how you end the day. It's starting the day. There are 6 things that you do. silence, which is meditation, affirmations, visualization of what you want the day to look like, exercise, reading, and then he calls it scribing, which is writing, journaling. The acronym spells SAVERS: silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading, scribe. SAVERS. And he says if you do all of these in equal time slots, if you do all 6 of these 1 minute a day, it takes 6 minutes of your time. If you do all of these 5 minutes a day, it takes 30 minutes of your time. If you do all of these 10 minutes a day, it takes an hour of your time. You don't piecemeal it, you do all of them. He explains it in the book, and it will transform your day. This is the ultimate personal development book because it gives you the foundation of what to do that not only changes you, but sets you on the right path for personal development. So it's basically helping you jump off that diving board. Okay, it's a great book. I love it. All right, so that is the end of the presentation. I have a couple of announcements. So, as always, whoever is watching the recording, if somebody brought you here and you're thinking, I've got to get those Young Living products, whoever invited you, go back to them. They'll help you get started. If it's me, there is my information on the screen. I have some classes coming up, and these are all online. The registration for the Connecting with Healing Angels class is going to end on this Friday, because the class is Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. So if you have not enrolled for that, then I would highly recommend it. I only teach this class once a year, in person in January and online each fall. So this is my one time teaching it online. And when you learn how to connect with these 9 healing angels, that is personal development. It'll change your life. All right. And then you guys are the first to know, literally the webpage is ready. The Oily Crystal Masterclass is ready to launch. So yeah, you just go to the Manifested Harmony website under classes. You're going to find Oily Crystal Masterclass, or you can just put in that URL. The class dates are, it's going to be an 1.5 hour long class, 4 Thursdays in a row, starting October 13th. So it's October 13th, the 20th, the 27th, and October 3rd, I believe, or November 3rd. There's going to be an extensive workbook. I'm still working on it, so I don't know how many pages it is, but it's probably going to be about 50 pages that you can download. And I have discount codes for the first launch of this. So if you, I'm trying to remember this from memory, if you are in my Essential Oil team, the Perma-Stay Oil team, or the Sacred Shift member group, or the Crystal Cluster member group, you're going to get 25% off. This is a $199 class. It goes down to $149. You get a 25% discount. In your private Facebook pages will be the coupon code. Okay, so you got to go to those Facebook pages. I haven't put them there yet because this literally went live about an hour ago. I will be putting the coupon code in there. You have to put the coupon code. If you don't put the coupon code, sorry, there's nothing I can do. Okay. There is also, if you're not in any of those 3 groups, also, if you've taken a full day crystal class from me, you get a 25% discount. If you don't fit into any of those categories, if you come to the live launch and register by October 13th so that you can participate in the live launch, you're going to get 15% off. So it's only $169. So on the webpage, I have that coupon code there, so you can take that. But again, if you're in the Perma-Stay Oil team, the Sacred Shift, the Crystal Cluster, or you've taken a full day crystal class from me, you have a special code to use. It's going to be a great class. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I have over 60 oily crystal blends that I'm sharing. I'm going really deep into science and metaphysics and frequency. And the workbook has the energetic descriptions of essential oils and crystals. It's a big book. It's a big book. I know you're going to love it. I already love it. I'm excited to launch this. All right, that's all I got. So I'm going to end the recording, and then I'll take some questions from those of you who are here live. So thank you for watching, and I hope you join in next month.